Hello friends, it's Kristie Marcotte. I just received my new Scrapbook.com creative team box, so I thought I would show you some of the new fun goodies. I put all of the new products in Scrapbook.com's brand new craft caddy, so I thought I would start with that. Many of the products are available now, others are coming soon, so you can always check out the coming soon section on Scrapbook.com's website, and there you can sign up to be notified as soon as the product is in stock. The craft caddy is available now, and this is perfect for organization. If you travel and do crafting, this would be perfect. It collapses flat, so if you need to store it, it doesn't take up a lot of space. On the inside of the tote, there is a sturdy base, and that is removable. There are so many pockets. So here's the front of the bag, and there are 6 different pockets. The 3 in the very front pull out just a little bit further so you can fit a larger item. And using the titanium scissors, I'm showing you all of the pockets so you can see how deep they are. And you could fill this tote with so many great crafty items, but of course you could also use it for non-crafty products as well. Here I'm showing the front 3 pockets that pull out just a little bit more. You can easily put an ink pad in there. On the sides, there are 2 pockets, and you could put quite a few products in the side. I'll grab the titanium scissors again, giving you an idea of how deep the pockets are, but with them pulling out so wide, I'll also grab my bottle of artiste glue, and there's still a ton of room in both of these pockets. You could easily fill the caddy with all kinds of crafty goodies when you're on the go, or simply to store in your craft room. So on the back side of the caddy, it's the same as the front. There are 6 pockets, and then the other side also has 2 of the larger pockets. So I'll put the platform, the base of the bag, back inside. I love that Scrapbook.com released this in a nice neutral color. This pretty gray will match any color scheme. Now I'll put all kinds of fun goodies inside the caddy, starting with a paper pad, and this is 6 by 8 inches. So you can see basically how wide this caddy is. And then right next to it, I'm able to fit an A2 size paper pad. So that's basically the base of the caddy. And the caddy is fairly deep. Let me grab a ruler so we can see exactly how deep this is. It's about 7.5 inches from the base to the very top. If you check out the listing on Scrapbook.com's website, there are tons of pictures to give you a better idea, show different examples of what you can put inside the caddy. It's 13 by 6 inches, has 16 pockets, and can hold up to 40 pounds. And since it is 13 inches long, you can fit 12 by 12 paper inside. You can even hold the handles. I did have to fold down the plastic on this pack of paper, but otherwise it holds it perfectly. Just to show a few other options that you can carry inside the new craft caddy, I grabbed my Platinum Scout machine. So this is a smaller die cut machine. I also grabbed the plates. You can see from the top there is still plenty of space. I'll add my artiste glue, some scissors, a bottle of water, and I barely have anything in there. I could still fit so many more products. So you can see I don't have anything in the side pockets. And this bag is so sturdy, the handles are reinforced, so you don't have to worry about the straps breaking on you. So now I'm just looking around my craft room, grabbing items that I could put inside the caddy. I have the large stack and sort tray, grabbed one of the smaller zipper pouches, and instead of putting it on the inside, it actually fits in one of the side pockets, so that's nice. I'll pop in a couple rolls of foam adhesive, and you can see I still have tons of space. The next item is one of my favorites, mostly because it's pink, but also because it's Scrapbook.com's Magic Mat. The pink edition of the Magic Mat is only available for a limited time. And right now, you can get it free with a $55 order at scrapbook.com. I'm not sure I'll even be able to cut into this. It's too pretty. I might save it to use with rub-on since it's always good to have a fresh mat. Last year, they released their limited edition holiday Magic Mat, and now we have a pink one, which is perfect for springtime. Now moving on to the paper pads. Some of them are available now, others are coming soon. I'll start with the new Duo Smooth Cardstock paper pads, and these are currently available. There are two different colors, Fresh Duo and Festive Duo. And both of the colors are available in 6x8 and A2 sizes. I've always enjoyed scrapbook.com's smooth cardstock paper pads, and these feel like a bonus because there's different colors on each side of the paper. Whereas their previous smooth cardstock paper pads had the same color on both sides of the sheet. And what's really nice, the colors on the front and back of each of the sheets match beautifully. So these will work really nicely with different die sets when you need coordinating colors. Also, within each of the paper pads, the colors all work well together. So if you struggle coordinating different colors, you could simply grab one of the Duo paper pads and everything should work beautifully together. I showed you the colors in the Festive Duo first, and now I'm showing the Fresh Duo. And each of the paper pads includes a nice rainbow of colors. We have pinks, reds, oranges, there's purple, blue, teal, and greens. Later on in the video, I'll be making a card using some of the new products, including the Festive Duo Smooth Cardstock paper pad and the new Cosmic Pattern paper collection. So here it is. It's also available in 6x8 and A2 size. And I'm showing the two front pages side by side. The size of the images is the same whether you're using the 6x8 or A2 size. I love having both on hand. With the A2 size, you have your background all ready to go. But with the 6x8 size, you have more pattern paper designs and solids. So I'll flip through the Cosmic paper pad showing the front side first. Lots of beautiful designs, and they do have some die and stamp sets coming out very soon that will coordinate with the Cosmic paper. There are lots of fun star patterns, a couple of distress watercolor looking designs. Those would be perfect for an outer space scene. Here's another one with blue and then some pinks. Super cute wavy stripe design. This is one of my favorites, pink with tiny twinkle stars. Here's a light pink tone-on-tone pattern that looks like alcohol inks. And I will be using this pattern on my card later on in the video. The last paper collection is called Darling. It's more pattern paper, available in 6x8 and A2 sizes. Many of the patterns are perfect for baby cards, but there are several patterns that you could use for any card occasion. I'll start by showing the front design first. The colors in this collection are very soft, has a nice mix of pinks, blues, and yellows. Here's a beautiful soft peach floral design. This one features clouds, umbrellas, and rainfall. We have butterflies, moons, and stars. This is a very light floral design. Then on the back side, several of the designs are solid color that match the collection. I always love when they include those solids. There's a solid light brown. Here's a fun polka dot pattern. There's a light tan, light yellow, and then the final patterns, a lovely plaid and shooting stars. So there's a look at the 4 new paper collections. The duos are available now and the pattern paper collections are coming very soon. Next up is a stamp set called Summer Shellebration, and there's also coordinating dies. These are coming soon and they'll be perfect for summertime. I love the fun variety of sentiments, and there are a few small images. And the die set has a die that goes around with the images and also the sentiments. The next product is a small die set called Flower Trio. There are 3 different floral designs, a stem, and also 2 leaves. Now flip over the package so you can see the designs on the back side. And I will be using this die set on my card later on in the video. I love the fun, whimsical design of the 3 flowers, perfect for springtime. The next die set is called Birthday Tassel Banners. It includes all the letters for Happy Birthday, the 2 different banners, and a cute little tassel. I don't think you can ever have too many birthday sentiment die sets. The next 2 die sets are perfect for mom and father cards. We have Happy Mother's Day and Happy Father's Day. So you can do the full Happy Mother's Day or Happy Father's Day sentiment, or just the single word mom and dad. And it includes the outline for all of the words. I love the heart cutout inside the word mom and dad. And there is a stamp set with some of the same sentiments. It's called Thank You for Everything. And on the stamp set, it includes the mom and dad, plus a bunch of other sentiments, and several of them would be perfect to use throughout the year. Thanks, love you, hello, thank you for everything. And with the coordinating dies, there is a die that goes around every single sentiment and the 2 small heart images. I like that the stamp set also includes grandma and grandpa, and then the smaller word dad and mom. Next up are 2 die sets that almost look the same. The only difference is one has a faux stitch detail and the other doesn't. This is the nested zigzag frames. The one on the left is stitched and the one on the right doesn't have that stitch detail. Each set includes 5 dies, and these are frames, so it does cut out the very center. I think it adds a really fun detail to the card, perfect for framing an image or sentiment. And I will be using the nested stitch zigzag frames on my card later on. The next die set is called Variety Edges. This one looks really fun. There are 9 different pieces, and they all cut out a different pattern, border, or edge piece for your card. I'll flip over the package so you can see a preview of all the different edges. And I think they look really cute if you cut out 2 and use 2 different colors. 2 of the dies are perfect for making a fun stitched cloud border. You can see it in the upper left-hand corner image. Border or edge dies are always fun to use, and I love the variety included on this set. Next is a stamp set called HBD Balloons, and there are coordinating dies. So it includes the single letters HBD, and you can stamp them inside the outline area. There's also the bouquet of balloons with the different shapes. And for the die set, it has the die for the 2 grouping of balloons, plus the individual shape balloons and their strings. So there's a quick look at some new products that are either available now or coming very soon at scrapbook.com. And if you are interested, I do have links in the description box below. And I always have to jump right in and make a card using some of the new goodies. Here are the main products I'll be using. The Flower Trio dies, nested stitched zigzag frame dies, Cosmic Pattern Paper, Festive Duo Smooth Cardstock, and I'll also be using Echo Park's Wood Grains, the Warm Collection. Here's the pattern paper I selected for the background of my card, and I did cut this down to 4 inches by 5¼ inches. I'll layer it on some of the solid pink cardstock, and that piece is A2 size. I'm adding a little extra color along the outside edge of the pattern paper piece. I'm using Catherine Pooler's Polished Ink Color. I have my pattern paper piece on a cut down version of the Project Grip Mat. This was originally 12 by 12 inches in size. Works great if you need to do just a little bit of ink blending or gluing die cut pieces. That way I don't get glue all over my workspace mat. So once I finish the last side, I'll adhere this piece on the solid cardstock background. For adhesive, I'm using Scrapbook.com's Deluxe Adhesive Roller. This adhesive is super sticky. I'll add a line along the outside edge and also one diagonal in the center. Then I'll adhere it on the cardstock background. I'll set that aside for now and start assembling the flowers. Even though there are 3 different flowers on the Flower Trio die set, I'm only using one of the flower styles. I believe this is a type of daisy. I cleaned off the mat and now I'll get it messy again. I'm adding a little extra ink on the inside of the flower. Now the very center will be covered up, so you'll only see the color on the end pieces of the petals that are closer toward the center. The ink color I'm using is Catherine Pooler's Terracotta. So it's just a little bit darker than this pinkish cardstock. I'm using Scrapbook.com's small blending brush. I have 2 of the flowers finished. Now I'll add ink on the last flower. And I'm doing a couple layers of ink, trying to make sure to get it dark enough. And after I finished that 3rd flower, decided I needed a little more ink on the 2nd flower. So there are the 3 flowers with the extra ink. In a little bit, I'll adhere the center piece down. I'll place them back in the small stack and sort tray. And magically, I have my Project Grip Mat all clean. Next, I'll add a little bit of color on the end of the leaves. The ink color I'm using is Catherine Pooler's Deck the Halls. So it's a darker green than the green cardstock. I used the same green cardstock for the stems and also the leaves. And right now I have 6 of the leaves, 3 in each size. But I end up only using 5 of the leaves once I add everything on my card. I love the extra detail on the petal piece of the flowers and also the leaves. Even though this is a small die set, you could use it in so many different ways. So I have just one more leaf to add that extra ink on the very end. Now I'll place those back in the stack and sort tray, clean up my Project Grip Mat, and now it's time to glue the centers on the end of the 3 flowers. I used some of the orange from the Festive Duo Smooth Cardstock paper pad. I'll hold those small pieces with my reverse tweezers, add a tiny bit of Scrapbook.com's Artiste glue. And before the glue dries completely, I'll make sure that end piece is lined up nicely with the background. If you're not a fan of die sets with lots of teeny tiny pieces, you'll love this set. The flowers are super easy to assemble. And I believe the center of this style flower is the smallest piece on the whole set. So there are my 3 flowers all assembled. I'm not attaching the stems and leaves to the flowers right now. I'll do that later directly onto the card. I will be popping up the 3 flowers, and I'm using the small foam squares from Scrapbook.com in their 1 millimeter thickness. Just put 3 of them behind each of the flowers. For the zigzag frame, I cut this out of Echo Park's Wood Grains Warm collection, so it has that fun wood look, really looks like a picture frame. I'll lay out the 3 flowers, just figuring out placement. But before adhering the flowers down, I will glue down the frame. I'm using Artiste glue, and I have the ultra fine metal tip on my glue bottle. I never take it off, but I always make sure to store the pin inside that bottle so it doesn't get clogged. I'll place the frame on the center of the card, press it down, and then I will let it sit for a few minutes with a large acrylic block on top. Want to make sure it lays nice and flat. And I know it looks like just a couple seconds, but I did let that sit for a few minutes. First, I'll lay out the 3 flowers, figuring out placement, and I'll adhere the top flower down first. Now I'll put glue on the back of one of the stems, tuck the top portion of the stem underneath the petals on that top flower, then glue it down. Now I'll add the flower on the left side, and then the flower on the right side. And the 2 flowers on the sides, that outside petal will sit on top of the wooden frame. With the 2 other flowers lower than the top flower, the stems will be longer, but I don't want them going outside the frame. So I'll cut off the top area of each of those stems and then tuck them underneath the petal of the flowers. That final flower on the right side will have the shortest stem. When tucking it underneath the flower, trying to make sure you don't see the top cut area of that stem. So now it's time to add the leaves. For a couple of the leaves, I will be popping up the very end with some foam dimension. Grab more of the small foam squares in the 1mm thickness. I'll glue down the first leaf on the left side, use one of the taller, narrow leaves. Then I'll lay out the rest of the leaves, trying to figure out placement. The flower on the left side will get 2 leaves, the tall flower will get 2 leaves, but the shorter flower on the right side will just get 1 leaf. For the shorter flower, I'll glue down one of the longer, narrow leaves, and I'm tucking the very tip of the leaf underneath the petals of the flower. Now I'll add another long, narrow leaf on the right side of the taller flower. And since I only put 3 of the small foam squares behind the flowers, I'm easily able to tuck those leaves underneath. And that's why I only added a little bit of foam dimension behind the flowers. Now I'll add the last 2 leaves. One will go on the left side of the taller flower, and the final leaf, I will put the foam dimension behind the very end, and I'll adhere it on the right side of the flower on the left side of the card. So there's the main card all finished. For a little extra detail, I'm adding some gloss spray in white. This is made by Dina Wakely. In Tiffany Solorio's SBC Fest class, she used this and I had to get it. So this is the first time I'm trying it, and instead of using the spray, I decided to dip a paintbrush in the liquid and then gently tap it over my card. I prefer the look of the smaller white splatter drops, so using a paintbrush this way, I know I have a little more control. When this dries, it has this gorgeous glossy finish. So I will set that aside and start working on the sentiment. I'll be adding Hello Summer, and this is from the Summer Shellebration stamp set. Decided to use the terracotta ink color since I know it will match with the rest of my card. I'll stamp it on some white cardstock, and I did use the Rose Quartz Misty. Inked it a couple times to get a nice solid impression, and then I cut it out using the coordinating die. I love this fun wavy style of the sentiment. I'll be adhering it at the bottom of the flowers inside the frame, but first I'll pop it up using more small foam squares from scrapbook.com. This is their 1mm thickness. Since I added that very small white splatter, it didn't take very long at all for this panel to dry. So there is my finished card. I love how this turned out. Summer's right around the corner, so it's not too early to start thinking of summer cards. If you are interested in any of the products I showed in this video, I do have links in the description box below. Some of the products are available now, others are coming very soon at scrapbook.com. And if they are coming soon, be sure to sign up to be notified as soon as they're in stock. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.